日本時間10月7日、敵地フィラデルフィアでのフィリーズ戦で、ナリーグ地区シリーズ第2戦を迎えたドジャース。勝てば2連勝で、地区シリーズ突破へ王手をかける大事な一戦。ドジャースは、フィリーズ先発のルサルド投手の前に、沈黙していた打線が7回に爆発。大谷選手のタイムリーを含む、一挙4点で試合をリードする展開に。また、9回に1点差に迫られ、なおもノーアウト2塁の場面で、相手打者は、バントの上手いストット選手。ここで、ドジャースベンチは、一塁手と三塁手が、猛チャージして、ショートが三塁をカバーする、通称、ブルドッグを仕掛け大成功。さらに、9回2アウト1、三塁の窮地に、佐々木朗希投手が5番手で登場。首位打者のターナー選手を二塁ゴロに打ち取り、チームを勝利に導く投球を見せました。9回のビッグプレー、そして佐々木投手のポストシーズン2セーブ目に、試合後の現地は大興奮。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
And the Dodgers, they overcame a 3-0 deficit to win 5-3 over the weekend. Nothing like November. Kike, he drove in 2 runs on a double with 2 outs, and Teo blasted a 3-run jack in the 7th to give the Dodgers the lead. Starters Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, they came in from the bullpen to put this one away. So, Kevin, did your perception of the Dodgers change after the first game of the NLDS? But I feel like you're going to say it had already changed after the wild card.
Yeah, you know what, Sarah, and I truly mean this. Like, they went through some serious rough patches that we had to talk about the Dodgers. You know, they were 16 and 32, and what's going on with the Dodgers. And this was back in, you know, July-ish and then August-ish. But it was like one of these things. I never panicked. They're an organization that builds 15, 20 games up over 500, and then they kind of go through their stuff. Their bullpen was getting overused, and their health of their starting rotation we're looking at, and we're sitting here watching. But you kind of know, like, this is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are the World Series champions. That lineup is filthy. Sasaki now, like, what? Now, who are you with this split and the 100? So you look at now, you can move Tyler Glasnow in and get an inning and 2/3 out of the bullpen, who comes in at 6'7", 8", just a gorgeous man, all of it. And Sasaki and Vesia's been unbelievable. That's like Dave Roberts' security blanket. So their bullpen was great. Shohei Ohtani, the human factor, he got hit, gave up 3 runs early. Right now you're thinking, okay, this is what the show's about. These are big boy series, right? Phillies and Dodgers. And he was able to sit in there and do an amazing job of competing and going 6 innings, striking, I believe, 9. But you saw him compete. Even when in the beginning stages it felt like, oh, yeah, here come the Phillies. You know, fans are rocking. And then, boom, the home run, the 7th, shuts the fans down. So to answer your question, I still believe this is the best team in this game. I still believe they're the team to beat. I think everybody else believes that, too. There's some good teams out there. You can still flip your coins and go, okay, great. But if you were giving me, it didn't change. They're still the team to beat and the best team out there.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal what they've been able to do, Sierra. And, like, the fact that I almost liken this, and I've said this before, when teams win. Like, there's a reason we don't see back-to-back a lot, right? Because you win, and then all the stuff that comes with it afterwards. The parade, the commercials, the be on this podcast, the go on this television show. And then there's, like, the come-down, and that's real, right? Like, afterwards, you're like, hey, guys, get up for this big series. It's coming up, you know, in San Francisco on Tuesday night in May. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, that's not fun. Like, They need to be challenged. I think this is a team and a ball club and a roster that, when challenged and when back against the wall, we see the best of them. Like, it's like they just come out. Kike Hernandez with the huge double. Like, that double in that game, to be able to score 2 runs and kind of put the team back in it, I think was huge. Shohei Ohtani was unbelievable. Like, I know he gave up 3 runs. Realmuto with the triple. But after that, it was just shutdown piece. We're talking 100. At the top of the zone, nasty breaking ball. He's filthy. These guys, their roster's a joke. To be able to put Tyler Glasnow in the game for an inning and 2/3, when this guy is, like, as a starter, can go out there and punch out 10 to 12, like, it's unbelievable how loaded they are.
This is a big reason why. Let's get real. Look at the bullpen from the Dodgers, man. Blake Trinan, this is in September, all of a sudden down the stretch, and this is when Roki Sasaki came back. We're talking a 9.64. We're talking Yates, Kopech on the IL, Tanner Scott, not the same guy that they brought in, paid a lot of money towards, and the rest of it. So this is a little bit of it out of necessity why we see Glass down there as well.
Yep.
But going back to Sasaki, the best thing that Dave Roberts could have done was not give him a soft landing at all. So now, let's go back to some of the changes he made. This is in April. You can see, and it's tough to tell, right? Because, you know, for whatever reason,
it's a completely different setup as far as how wide his legs are.
So he's wide, right? And the reason for that, they wanted to get into that lower half. So when you're up here like this, it's natural to stand upright. Same as hitting, right? You want to be up and be naturally upright and get out of this back leg. This was everything in regards to this move. So what they do, they spread him out, and it forces you to be more stable in that back leg. And so when he comes up, he's got that big high leg kick. If you run the tape, I don't know if we can run the tape on this or not. Okay, it's frozen. But it's basically, when you run the tape and you see that big leg kick, pause it for a sec. He's got this big leg kick like that. You want to be stable in that back leg. In April, when he was coming up like this, he's kind of coming up and just getting, whenever you see the back knee start to go like this, there's just not that stability.
Same thing in hitting.
Same thing in hitting. Now all of a sudden you see it, it's stable, he's in his lower half, his head's staying over his back leg, and it just gives you more of a plant. Again, I think this is more of a mental thing.
If he's able to pull this off, and I know you do your board splits before and after IL sit, if he's able to pull this off and close them to a World Series title, Andrew Friedman.
Big time. Yeah, big time. Now, again,
because no one saw this coming based on what beginning.
No one.
I don't care. You can tell me they slow played this. They
right.
No.
But I'm with you though. I'm telling you, if you walk back into that big league clubhouse after spending 4 months out of the spotlight, and they say, look, just come in, D-backs, Mariners regular season, just go empty the tank. Let's give you 100 and throw that split. Just split falls off the table, your confidence goes through the roof, and we're slowly starting to see that. He could be that guy in the bullpen.
Right. Your thoughts on seeing, again, the money on the field and the power on the field?
Well, I think what the money on the field enables teams to do is eat a mistake. And that's something that some of the mid-market or small market teams can't do. So if you sign a big player to a big contract and it doesn't work out, it's not a crippling situation. Right? I think back to the days where I was covering the Yankees and they signed Kagawa for $46 million, and he ended up pitching in Scranton for pretty much the entire time that he was with the organization. Not a big deal. Brush it under the rug and move on. If the Milwaukee Brewers sign a player for $46 million and he stinks, that's a problem for them.
Right.
They can't just say, all right, move on, we'll go get somebody else. And I think when you look at the Dodgers and you look at when they have injury problems, they have enough depth in the organization because they have so much money invested in various parts of the team that they can withstand it.
It's a good point because, like, even look at Giancarlo Stanton. They can just live with Stanton, who's offering them very, very little, and then suddenly this year he's slugging 600, and now he's doing great. But you can absorb a guy making $27 million a year. I'm trying to give the Dodgers credit here. I know it doesn't seem like that, but I'm saying, like, they have it all going on. Look, Ryan, they draft, they develop, they do everything right. But on top of it, it's like, no, we're spending at the top end.
Well, on the first point, what they do with Sasaki, the way he's come back in September, which we can get to 100%. But you talk about the spending. I think the only team, the way they go out and do this with their pitching especially, and can survive with this is the Dodgers. Because you look at the innings pitched and starts per innings pitched, you look at there's one guy in that rotation who's gone 30-plus starts, and that's Yamamoto. So you look at this and go, all right, you got Blake Snell.
Here it is. Look at the innings here. Now Dustin May. Dustin May. They traded for parts, as I say. He was second on the team. Then Kershaw ended up with 112. But otherwise, everybody, as I mentioned, tanned and rested, right? Everybody nice and easy.
I'm with Mark. When you have the ability to spread this out and pay multiple guys this money, because if you have that one guy that you're paying a boatload to in a rotation, and he hits the IL or underperforms, man, you're in trouble. I mean, look at, okay, the one team besides the White Sox, besides the Rockies who are up there in regards to lack of innings from their rotation is the Mets. And we saw what happened to them too. When they didn't have that starting pitching, you see exactly what happened. So the Dodgers are that only team that can pull this off in regards to spreading out and having those multiple guys in a rotation that you're going to pay.
Well, look who's starting tonight. Again, they got Sasaki, the #1 international free agent. Tonight, they start Blake Snell, domestic pitching free agent, probably #1. So they went out and they got it, in addition to the bullpen guys who didn't work out. Again, you have to admire the aggressiveness of
Absolutely.
LA.
And the thing with Snell, he has had two seasons in his career where he reached 180 innings.
Right.
He won the Cy Young in both of those seasons. Beyond that, his career high was like 130.
Right.
So you don't sign Blake Snell saying, all right, we got our workhorse who's going to go out there and pitch 180, 200 innings. It's not what he does. So I don't think you look at his innings pitched and say, well, we were expecting a lot more than that. They might have been expecting a little more than that. But, I think the Dodgers, when you look at, and of course they also had the advantage that their DH started game 1 for them. So, that's an advantage nobody else has, where you can say, oh, well, they've got Yamamoto and they've got Glasnow and they've got Snell and they've got Kershaw. They also have Shohei Ohtani, who doesn't even count as a pitcher.
Do a little pitching.
So, they're in a situation where other teams were looking in the playoffs and saying, all right, well, the games 1 and 2 starters with the off days can come back and pitch in game 5 on regular rest. The Dodgers are saying, we have 4 regardless.
Right.
And then we can bring back Ohtani and Snell in game 5. And Glasnow may do a pitch out of the bullpen, and we'll be just fine with that, too.
This game could end with one swing of the bat either way. A double play for the Dodgers would end it. One in the gap or down the line could end it. The 1-1. Kepler on the ground, ranging over Freeman. He's got it, goes to second, out there. Excellent play by Freddie Freeman. Second out of the inning. Dodgers are an out away from a 2-0 series lead. But the Phillies get back to the top of their order, and the National League batting champion coming up, Trey Turner.
Yeah, right here, good play by Freddie Freeman, knowing there's no way Vesey is going to get over, make sure to get the out. And we were wondering if we were going to see Sasaki. Well, it was going to be with first and third to face Trey Turner, because he's getting ready to come in this ball game.
Dave Roberts makes another trip to the mound in the 9th. Treinen gave up 3 hits. Vesia faces his 3 batters with 1 hit, and here comes Sasaki. This game was dominated by the 2 starters, Blake Snell and Jesus Luzardo, 6 scoreless innings for each. Dodgers are up for 4 runs in the 7th. Phillies chipping away now. Got a run in the 8th, 2 here in the 9th. And Roki Sasaki is on to pitch. Game 1 on Saturday was his first ever save opportunity in the major leagues. He has never inherited a runner in his career, and he is out to get 1 more out for LA.
We thought we'd see him to come into this 9th inning. He's finally here, and we saw Trey Turner finally kind of break that streak with the hit last time. Also, B.A. Trey, 343 this year with runners in scoring position. Loves this moment.
He is the National League batting champion, Trey Turner. He's won it twice. He's a first pitch swinger. Tying run at third base. And Turner takes a ball inside. Mind the splitter, too. That's Sasaki. It's one of his best pitches. Splitter in the dirt. It gets by Smith. Stott will score if it gets far enough away. Turner to second base. Tommy Edman. Low throw. Freddie Freeman with the scoop. And the ball game is over. Oh, my goodness. Tommy Edman spiked it in the dirt. Freddie Freeman in that Gold Glove form just saves game 2 for the Dodgers.
Oh, my.
Oh. Wow. He threw him a long dart. Tommy Edman owes Freddie Freeman the fattest steak dinner he's ever had. Ball game. Dodgers win. They're up 2-0 as they head home to Los Angeles.
First of all, just when you look at how this game closed out, Roki Sasaki, how he was able to come in, get that final out, just what does it say about him and how he's just been able to grow and improve in the bullpen?
Yeah, it's awesome. He's cool under pressure. He's been in these moments before, and yeah, he's unbelievable.
For you to come out of the bullpen, I know it's your second outing in the postseason, but just to get back on track, how the stuff was playing tonight, how much better did you feel?
It felt great. Yeah, the first one wasn't good, so it's nice to have a good one. This atmosphere is amazing, so it was a lot of fun.
Then Blake Snell, just what did he do to set the tone for the pitching staff really today?
He's unreal. He's nasty. Yeah, that's just who he is right there.
You guys are going back to LA with 2 wins at a best-of-5 series. Just how encouraging is that for this group as you guys get ready to head home?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, that was the goal, and we accomplished that, so it feels awesome.
Emmett, congratulations on this win tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Will, you came in for Blake Snell's final outing of work. Just what did you see from him today, and of course catching him in there in that 6th inning?
Yeah, he was dominant. You know, he had all 4 pitches going. You know, kept them at bay. That was really cool to see. You know, he loves these games. So gave us 6 really strong innings. Bullpen's able to close it out. So it's a good one.
And Roki Sasaki, how he came out of the bullpen to close this one. Just what has been the difference from him, especially in these big moments in the playoffs?
Yeah, he was great the other night, closing the door. And then, yeah, Blake got in trouble. Vest did a great job, you know. Once he made a good play on the bunt, we got a big out there. And, yeah, Roki's able to come get Trey. You know, Freddie picked a bad throw from Tommy, so it's kind of a little team effort there, but it's a good win.
You guys now go back to LA with 2 wins in this 5-game series. What does it say about how you've started this series and how you're looking to finish it now at home in LA?
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's always good to get a 2-0 lead, and we needed 3 to win it, so try to close it out here in Game 3.
Rob, what went into the decision to have Bryson stop bunt there as opposed to swinging?
Just left on left. We're trying to tie the score. I liked where our bullpen was at based on as compared to theirs, so we played for the tie at home.
It seemed like the Dodgers were expecting it. Was there any thought of taking it off after?
Well, Mookie did a great job of disguising the wheel play, and we teach our guys that if you see wheel, just go ahead, pull it back and slash because you got all kinds of room in the middle. But Mookie broke so late that it was tough for Stoddy to pick it up.
In that 7th inning, it seemed to me, that was the kind of inning you guys have maybe lacked and wanted all season, where you string together hits, add on. And then the aggressive base running with Teo breaking from 3rd and you going straight to 2nd on what looked to be a single.
Yeah, so, I mean, Luzardo was amazing. You know, 96 to 99 with the slider, sweeper, and then changeups to, you know, to Shohei and then obviously to the righties. That was a tough game for us. But when Teo gets the hit in the 7th inning, you're just trying to do anything you can to not ground into a double play, is what I was thinking. Just trying to see if I can do something to get him into the second base. And thankfully, I was able to lift the slider up into right field. And the reason I went was, you know, he was going to the line. I thought he would have to do a spin throw to second base, trying to keep things going, put pressure on him. So I felt like I got out of the box pretty good on it. So I just kind of calculated that him going to the line, I didn't hit it as hard because I hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. So I just wanted to push the envelope in that situation since we hadn't had anything going on since the 1st inning. And obviously some huge 2-out hits that we got in that 7th inning, you know, by Will and then obviously Shohei too. And great play by Teo getting his foot in. So a lot of good things happened in that 7th inning.
Can you walk us through the last play in the 9th, just what you're seeing picking that ball?
Yeah, I think we got to go back. There's things that you do in spring training that never come throughout the regular season, and the wheel play that we pulled off on that bunt. That was picture perfect by Max and Mookie. I just want to throw that out there. I know we might overlook that, but that was huge, getting that guy out. And obviously, you know, Tommy threw it into the dirt. You know, thankfully I was able to catch it and stay on the base. But, you know, that was, I think I told Lauren after the game, my gray was right here. It might be up to my sideburn now. That was a stressful inning.
With Mookie especially, I think Max mentioned his idea to run the wheel play during the pitching change.
Yeah, we were talking about, so the whole conversation during was that, obviously, and then if we run the wheel play, that means there's going to be no one at second base. So that's when I chimed in. I said, if he bunts to third base, Max, you throw to Mookie. Tommy's going to first. I'll sprint to second base if it's not coming to me. That's why you saw me running to second. So we were just coming up with a plan on the wheel play to make sure we still had every base covered so he couldn't go home to second. And obviously they pulled it off perfectly.
But what does it say about Mookie to be able to execute in that kind of spot at this position that he's been taking on?
Yeah, I mean, I think hopefully everyone realizes how hard it is to switch positions and then do it at an elite level that Mookie has done at this year. We were talking about doing a wheel play a couple of weeks ago in a certain situation as well. So that's been on our mind to kind of bring that out in that situation, and that was just the perfect time to do it. Nick, obviously, there's not Trey Turner running, so we had a better chance of that. So that's why we were gun-ho on that wheel play. And obviously Mookie and then Max and everyone just confident in pulling that off. And, I mean, everything was just perfect on that play.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago, nobody expected Loki pitch this kind of situation.
Yeah.
How much confidence you have now so he pitched this kind of tough situation?
I mean, every time he comes in, I think today is the most pressure situation you can obviously be put in. Guy in scoring position, first and third, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth on the road. To get thrown into that and to be calm, I thought the first pitch splitter was, a really good pitch, and it was, around the zone, so you knew he was calm and collected. I mean, he's throwing 100, 101. It's everyone we thought when we signed. It just took a little bit longer. Sometimes that happens, and he looks so good on the mound now, so confident. Even when he gets the outs, you can just tell like he almost looked like he knew he was going to get it done, and it's a massive weapon for us this whole postseason now.
Before we get to your start, what was it like watching that ninth inning play out, and what was the mood like in the dugout?
Yeah, the mood was good. Excitement, belief. I mean, we know we're going to win. We're confident in that, and we found a way to win, made some really good plays, and
just what you think of that play by Mookie there? Obviously relatively new shortstop to be able to do something that difficult in that situation.
Yeah, I mean that was like you practice that play all the time, and you never know when it's going to happen. And then for it to happen in the postseason in Philly, tough environment, and to be there, make the throw, make the catch, make the play, it's pretty amazing. So I mean everyone was fired up. The dugout went crazy. But to be able to do that play and everyone do it correctly was pretty amazing.
Did you consider at all going straight to Sasaki in the ninth, and what ultimately made you go with Trinan there?
I thought about it. He hasn't gone 2 out of 3 much at all. Just figuring the run right there. Blake's pitched some of the biggest outs innings in the postseason for us, and felt really confident right there. And with Vesia behind him if needed. And so I didn't want to just kind of, preemptively put him in there. I felt good with who we had with our leverage relievers, a couple of our highest leverage relievers. And, fortunately, he was ready when called upon. And I liked him versus Trey. And he got a big out for us.
Can you walk us through what you saw on the bunt play and what Max and Mookie did to be able to cover that and get that out?
Yeah, it was an impromptu play that I just told Mookie, Stott's going to bunt. He's a good bunter, and so let's just run a wheel play. And Max be aggressive, field it, and Mookie get over there and beat Castellanos there. And, those guys executed it to perfection. It was a lot tougher. They made it look a lot easier than it was. And for me, that was our only chance really to win that game in that moment.
Rob Thompson mentioned that part of why Stott stuck with the bunt is because Mookie almost disguised it with how late he broke to third. Just for him to execute in a moment like that at this new position he's playing, what does it say about his growth there?
It's just he's a baseball player. And, it's one of those things where you can kind of organically create a play, and certainly it doesn't happen with a tag play at third base. And so he disguised it, and the foot speed obviously much more fleet of foot than Castellanos, and to still have to field it, lead Mookie, and then on the run and still make a tag play, tough play. And he hung in there with Castellanos bearing down on him. But yeah, Mookie's growth has been incredible.
Dave, just for Rojas, when with that play in which he was able to get the tag at the base for Trey Turner, he walked off a little gingerly after that. How is he doing, and is there any kind of concern for him potentially moving forward?
Yeah, so Miggy, great play, aggressive, heady play to get Trey at third base on the force play, and then the hamstring tightened up a little bit on him. It's something he's been dealing with for the last few weeks, so wanted to get him out of there.
Just a quick follow-up on the wheel play, because we're getting conflicting evidence. Max said you guys don't even practice that in spring training.
Not once.
Somebody else said you did, so Max is correct.
No, we don't practice that play. It's just kind of, we don't, and yeah, we don't.
Max, can you just take us through that wheel play in the ninth inning? Such a huge out to get Castellanos out at third base.
Yeah, wheel play is not something that we traditionally do, but as soon as we got in that situation, me, Mook, and Tommy immediately started talking about, hey, we got to try something different here. We can't just play standard bunt play. And when Doc came out, made the pitching change, we talked to him about it, and he was all on board. And I'm going to credit Mook. It was his idea. We got to go. He was saying we got to go wheel play. We got to go wheel play. And so we talked about how we were going to do it, and we got executed it to perfection.
How big could you feel the momentum change getting that out at third base?
Yeah, it's huge. You get that guy off second base, you get an out there, and it's just that changes everything in that inning.
This is obviously Mookie's first postseason playing shortstop. For him to be willing and sort of wanting to win the wheel play there, what does that sort of say about his comfort of position and just wanting to make something happen in that spot?
Yeah, it's just a smart play. It's just a really smart baseball play, and for him to immediately be coming right to me and talking about doing it, it's just. It shows his intuition in the game. It's second to none out there. It doesn't matter what position you put that guy at. He knows what's going on, and it's honestly really impressive, and it's awesome to be his teammate.
Speaking of intuition, you guys practice that way back in spring training, but to execute it in October, what's going through your mind when you're measuring the depth of that bunt?
Well, again, that's what's funny is we don't really even practice the wheel play. It's not with pitchers not hitting anymore. It's not a play that we really run because there's very, very, very few times where you're 100% sure that a guy is going to bunt, and so it's not even really a play that we practice anymore.
Roki, with your transition to the bullpen, every step has been something new for you to have to get ready so quickly, but then to come out, execute your pitches. Just how big was that for you personally?
そうですね。前回登板よりは時間があったので、準備はできてましたし、マウンドに行ってちゃんとストライクが取れる準備はできたかなと思うので、良かったかなと思います。
Yeah, I feel like this time around I did get enough warm-up pitches to be able to make sure that I can execute, so I felt actually okay.
You guys now head back to Los Angeles, being up in this series. Of course, it's a 5-game series, a shorter one. Considering that, just what is the feeling amongst the group for yourself, just as you guys head back home to Los Angeles to hopefully put yourself in a position to close this series?
そうですね。先発ピッチャーが本当に毎回いいピッチングをしてくれるので、僕ができることはその状態で、試合を終わらせ締めるか、次のピッチャーにつなぐことだと思うので、しっかりいい準備をしてマウンドに行くことだけを考えています。
The starting pitching is doing an amazing job, results-wise, and all I'm trying to do is hold the lead or finish the game.
You've had just off days within this series thus far, but do you feel like you're comfortable if you did have to go in a back-to-back?
そうですね。休みの日も強度高めに投げてみたりとか、感覚を試しながらいけそうだなっていう感覚があります。
I actually do feel pretty good about being able to throw back-to-back games. On my off day, I threw with pretty good intensity and felt pretty good.
十分な時間はあったということですけども、この状況そのものというか、1点差、ランナー三塁にいる、でフォークを投げる場合のリスクもある、その中であそこの場面、どういう気持ちで、打者にアプローチしていったんですか。
そうですね。とにかくストライクゾーンに投げること、自分でカウント悪くしてまっすぐだけの状態作らないようにって、そういうことだけ心がけて投げました。
9回の頭に名前が呼ばれなかった時の心境と、その後登板する準備がされてたと思うんですけども、より厳しい場面で上がるっていうのは覚悟してたと思う。その辺の覚悟、心の中っていうのはどういうふうに考えてましたか。
そうですね。右が続くのは分かってたので、そういう判断もあるかなとは思ってたので、ただ打順上位行ったら行くかもしれないってことを言われてたので、そこに関しては気持ちの準備はできてましたし、いざ行くってなった時をそうですね、打たれてもしょうがないかなっていうか、割り切って、自分から自滅せずにゾーンで行って、それだけかなと思ってます。
お疲れ様です。こちらです。走者がいない時でも、クイックモーションでも同じように威力ある球投げられてると思うんですけども、クイックでの投球っていうのはご自身の中で手応えとか良くなったなんか要因とかご自身の中でありますか？
そうですね、マイナーで99、100が出るようになった時もちょっとまだそのクイックとの、ばらつきはあったので、ただメジャー復帰してからいつの間にかに良くなってたので、そこはちょっとわからないというか、自分の中でなんていうんですかね、投げながらいろんな感覚を思い出してきたんじゃないかなとは思ってます。
すみません、最後バッターがターナー選手で、ナ・リーグの首位打者ですけども、どれぐらいデータっていうのは頭に入ってたのかっていうのと、最後プレーとしてフリーマン選手がかなり難しいボールをキャッチして最後ゲームセットになりましたけど、あそこはどういう感じで勝利の瞬間見られていたのかっていうところを教えてください。
そうですね、データは正直そこまで入ってなかったので、自分のいい球で勝負することだけ考えてましたし、ワンバン投げた時カバーいってないなと思ってはい、次からいきます。
すみません、フィリーズはすごいヤジがすごいことでも有名ですけども、このフィリーズ、ブルペンとか投げてる時とか、ブーイングとかどういうふうに感じましたか？実際何かありましたか？
そこまで英語もわからないので何言ってるかはわからないですし、気にせず日本でも似たような経験はあったので、そこら辺は特に気にせず投げれたかなと思ってます。
リリーフで投げるって決めた時、チームにこれだけ頼りにされるっていうのは予想できたか、それとも期待してたか、そういう気持ちはあったんでしょうか？
僕はしなかったですけど、ウィルさんがずっとしてくれてたので、もう頑張るだけです。
The play in the ninth inning was huge to get Castellanos out. Max Muncy said during the pitching change, it was your idea, your insistence to go to the wheel play. Where did that come from, and where were those instincts to know that was the play?
It's just another learned behavior. I got to give that credit to Miggy Rojas. I think we did it earlier in the year in Anaheim, and I remember asking him when's a good time to do it? He said in a do or die situation, and he's really been. Him and Woody have really helped me a lot, just learning situations. And I had never been in that situation in a game like this, so I just trusted it and made a decision, and it worked.
Does that just show the growth that you've had at that position? Because it is a take charge kind of captain position. For you to feel that comfortable to insist on it, that kind of shows where you're at.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know if it was very comfortable, but somebody's got to do it. And I figured if there was ever a good time to make a decision and roll with it, that was the time.
Okay, on the wheel play, the shortstop typically isn't as close to second as you were positioned. It looked like you just dead sprinted toward third base. Did that increase the degree of difficulty there?
I don't know. Just God blessed me with some athleticism, so I was able to kind of put it on display there.
いかがでしたでしょうか？このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。